notes from my August 2024 reading of an autobiography on airplane pilot Sully. So this was initially published in 2009 with a different title, and then they made a movie based off of it, and it came, so it was previously probably the name for when it was originally published back in 2009 was Highest Duty. And then this is the 2016 William Morrow edition, paperback with a change in name. So the name is Sully, My Search for What Really Matters by Captain Chesley, Sully, Sullenberger, with Jeffrey Zaslow, who was a columnist for the Wall Street Journal. He passed away between the publishing in 2009 and this publishing 2016, per the book's information. I'm Tanis Coralee Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle. I'm going to go through my book and reading notes for this August 2024 reading of it. For myself, I started the book on Sunday, 18 August 2024, and finished the book today, Friday, 23 August 2024. It's 340 pages, and it took me 6 days, so that's pretty good for me, anyway. So I'm filming this Friday, 23 August 2024. It's a public library copy. It's one I was looking at the biography section at my local library, Richmond Beach Library. And I was like, is there anything different? And I had not had a pilot perspective. All right, so it's an autobiography of airplane pilot Captain Chesley, Sully, Sullenberger. So the third thing. So in that sense, it was different. I was like, yeah, it's diversification, occupational diversification. There we go. Okay. Book notes, including construction and design. So I liked it. Was a moderately quick read. I appreciated the full text. There wasn't excessive breaks in paragraph. There was two groups of pictures, one black and white and on this kind of page style, and then one color in that, on this page I get grayscale, and then a color section on a different type of page, the shiny white pages, and then it has the name of the book, Sully, and then the name of the chapter on the tops, and then page numbers on the bottom. Chapters came with a kind of a tone or a theme for each one, and then they had some of the excerpts from the manuscript, like they record the conversation. So there was an airplane crash, and he landed, it collided with a bunch of Canadian geese and the airplane, and so then this pilot had to land it on the water. So he kind of puts interspersed throughout some of the words. So and that's formatted a little bit differently. And yes. And then in the back, there's actually like a visual where they put timestamps and like where stuff happened for the actual flight itself. So the crash, so it was flight 1549 on the 15th of January 2009, which I gotta say, it's pretty impressive. Or it's not like it's some sporting competition planned, 10 years in advance. The host city is selected and somebody starts writing a book around that sporting competition. This was emergency 15 January 2009. I got the book written and published, 340 pages the same year, right? True writing prowess, not three authors on a sports person, just that has over a decade of it in advance. The real deal. Quick turnaround book. And he even said that at the end. He was like, this is not quite what I expected, so thank you for the help. So like he hadn't written a book before, it wasn't really on the radar. He did it and did well. I gave him 5 out of 5 stars. Okay, reading notes. So yes, this is about it was kind of, so there was, after the 11th September 2001 terrorist attacks, there's a lot of like fear in America. I lived in the United States of America at the time, and it's still in this time frame of, what if it happens again? And this was the one where like it checked marked something's going to happen again, or there's going to be some plane crash and stuff like that. But it was like kind of the holy grail in the sense of it was just they ran into birds. Right? Like, it wasn't a terrorist attack. It was just a bunch of birds. I mean, they were Canadian, but like, I'm in Seattle going, well, I like Canada. Can we join Canada yet? Can we secede and join that nation? Do we need China's help? Like, China, please help us. Us, Minnesota, Alaska, and Hawaii. 4 peas in a pod. Ship us to the north. or not ship us, but like help us, please. We ask for help. Anyway, there's one point, and he does a water landing on the Hudson River. And he did take off from New York City LaGuardia Airport. And let's see, anything else about so it was 15 January 2009. And the entire plane flight from like leaving the tarmac to landing on the water was like 5 minutes. And from the time it hit the birds to landing on the river was 3 minutes and 28 seconds. So I was like, there's a good contextualization for a 1 mile run. It's if/when humans run that fast, that's how long it took for a plane to hit birds and land on the Hudson River. That's like a miracle contextualization for the 1 mile run. Jacob Ingebrigtsen, get out there. Josh Kerr, get out there. Okay. So now well, you're already out there. Run faster. Take me with you. Take me with you. Take me with you. Let me be your coach. Run as Jacob Leonhardi and Josh Leonhardi. Okay, point being, okay, so there we go. So it check marks some fewer boxes of like plane crashes still can occur, but it doesn't always mean it's like a terrorist attack. So it was kind of, in that sense, a big like sigh of relief for the American people. Okay, all right, now I'm gonna go through my notes. I had a lot, so and before I do that, he and his wife Lori had 2 kids they got through adoption. One that they oscillate between the name Kate and Katie, was the oldest child, and then younger child Kelly, both of which were adopted. But they tried to get pregnant first on their own. It didn't work, so then they did IVF, in vitro fertilization, which is 2 shots a day, but it's still old-fashioned style baby making, just with some assistance, like chemical assistance. So different than embryos, right? Embryos are implantation, so that's artificial insemination, which IVF didn't get. Like, yeah, right? This is 2009. It's still relevant today. That's a chemical kind of thing. So there's, so and that didn't work either. So then they went with adoption. All right. Page 3, he built his first model airplane when he was 6 years old. And then I think that page, the next page, he went on his first airplane flight when he was 11. He was born in like the early 1950s, and his dad was, I think, was it a dentist in World War II? Yeah, we live in privileged times. Yes, we do. So he had to have the real drive to be a pilot. He wasn't like he could go out and buy some kit plane and put pieces together, right? Like, yeah. And his inspiration was fighter pilots. He saw it flying overhead. All right, page 45. Oh, the press decided to pester the widow, so person who outlives their significant other after his plane crash, and ask about the details between her husband's water ditching. So it was only the second one for open water ditching of an airplane. All right, ditching being the reason it's not common is you got an airplane cost to cover. Who's paying for the airplane that got ditched in the water, right? But that one was like over open ocean or something. It's like, that's kind of inappropriate, isn't it? Berating the significant other. It's not like they're a pilot. That wouldn't be appropriate even if they were a pilot. So inappropriate press in the United States of America, even back in 2009 when this happened to significant others. Let's see. Okay, page 70, 35. So this is for the soulmate thing. He was 35 and she was 25? Approximately 10 years off. Page 70, something like that. Somewhere in there. They're 8 or 10 years. I think one place he says they're like 10 years different, than one place he says the ages are like 8 years off. And I'm like, so one of those, somewhere in there. He's older, but she's younger. But then they fall into the 30 plus years of age category. All right. Page 153, he believes that people are not capable of doing things spontaneously. I disagree. Some people are very planned and regimented and live by checklists, like this guy, so he might forget that there are people who are different than him in the world. But that's page 153. He makes that kind of comment. And then, let's see, page 214. Oh, he doesn't actually talk with the people in the cabin, like the passengers. And if you read the back of the book, you might understand they had a bunch of like alarm systems go off in the pilot, they were talking to each other and talking to the ground, right? They were trying to find where to land. They weren't the only plane out there someday. They didn't want to go land at some airport where there's another airplane on the tarmac and they crash into it and there's 100% fatalities, right? So it would have been inappropriate and irresponsible for him to talk to the cabin, especially when there's all those alarms going off in the cockpit, right? Like, that would have just, you know, how many passengers would have had a heart attack if you let that go over the intercom? But I hope the passengers were smart enough to figure that out. So it's kind of page 214, 216. They didn't have time to contact those in the cabin. Well, yeah. And they only had less than 3:30 to even figure out where to land the airplane and land the airplane. Right. Okay, page 216. They reached about 3,000 feet before the plane went down. They descended at 1,000 feet per minute. Okay, to the crash. Gotta act fast. All right, page 242. The back of the plane says this is got more damage than the front of the plane. Front of the plane passengers, essentially, it pays to be in first class in terms of safety, right? The back got more damage than the front, and the people in the back got more whiplash and hit like the backs of the chairs and stuff, whereas that wasn't necessarily the case with the people in the front of the plane. So far more dangerous for the people in the back of the plane than the front of the plane for water landing airplane. Page 242. Approximately. It kind of goes on for a few pages, but yeah. Page 247, they said they never got a head count while on the river. I can guarantee if there was anybody on that life raft, because they had the like slide rafts that come, you know, you go through the emergency training whenever you enter a plane, and they have the pamphlets in the back of the seat, and if you're a good passenger, you actually read it, or you're going down and you're reading it, right? Like, gotta have some common sense there, you know. If there was a single person like me, they gotta count. I'm a counter. Okay, I'm that personality type that'll be like, I'm bored sitting on a life raft and there are no boats coming because they haven't even signaled to them yet. Right? I'm gonna count how many people are in this raft. So somebody has it. At least one person, even if just subconscious. Don't forget the ether of the universe also got that number. Okay, page, so that was page 242. Is that 247? Okay, page 300. Oh, people realizing they could lose each other. Sad that couples actually need like traumatic events to happen to realize they could lose each other. But that's just the kind of woman Lori is. Okay, page 309 again. 3 minutes and 28 seconds to land the plane once the crash with the birds. 1 mile runners, myself included. We gotta do it. We gotta see what that's like for the 1 mile run. Okay, page 320. And don't forget Faith Kipyegon. Okay, and Safan Hassan, and yeah, okay, a lot of people. Page 320 talks about next time you fly. The last time I was on an airplane was over 4 years ago. July 2019, I went to Scotland via France. Okay, diagram, pretty diagram. That was nice. That's it. What page is that? It's not actually numbered at the bottom. 323. Yeah. Okay. And then it has the transcript at the end. All right. In conclusion, marked full book number 36 for me for the 2024 year. 5 out of 5 stars. Thank you for joining me.